Well, this treadmill slows, and I think it's a board. I mean, you can, when you fire it up, it's kind of slowing down. Now, if you come in here and get our infrared thermometer, you can see that this thing is getting hot right there where I'm pointing. So I'm thinking it's a board. Now the motor is about, I mean, well, you can hear the brushes. I think the brushes, but they're nice and long. But I think what happened is that the brushes that were in this motor actually ate away at the commutator, and now that I put new brushes on, it's having problems. It's asking for energy, and here's the wire that's going over there, and this thing heats up. So I'm thinking, heck, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can maybe. I don't like the fact that the board is getting hotter though. The motor, I mean, the motor should get somewhat hot. It doesn't have a fan on it, but the board over here is getting really hot on the wire. The rest of you take your thermometer and look at all these little points here. Each one of these, I mean, they're pretty normal. They're pretty good temperature. So it's just drawing too much power here. Anyway, I'm starting to look at this problem. I'll tell you what happened on the next video. Well, the first thing we're going to do is unplug it. We're going to take a picture of it. Make sure that we don't mess up here. Okay, take a nice picture of every one of these plugs here. Okay. Like so. Alright. Let me see if we can... No, it's not going to work. Oh, we're talking about maybe melted on. Let's see, any other thing here? No. Okay, so we got the white one on that side, the blue one on this side, and we got the black one here, and the red one. And I put this here because it was having some dirt in there. And we're gonna unplug this guy here, which is the incline, and here's the console, I betcha. Alrighty. So we're gonna move those out of the way, move that out of the way, and it's got two screws on this side. So we're gonna take this guy out. So good thing I got the pliers because I need to pull this guy out. There you go. Where's the other one here? It's nice that it's magnetic screwdriver. And we gotta get the ground out of here. And this guy just... Oh, forgot the controller. And here we go. Alrighty. This guy comes over here. There's the controller. A little bit of dirt in there. Let's see. Gotta be careful with these things because it's kind of, see, it's got a, the thing is that these things here, look at that, see? It's got a plate underneath and the board. You don't want to get the board in the, you'll short out the board if you put it in there because you can't go farther, see? And you can make the mistake of going deeper and putting the board in there. You're going to burn out the board. And you don't want to do that. So put the screws back in there. Let's see what we got here. What the heck is that? Oh, there it is. Right there. There you go. Alright, so we put this screw in here. And tighten her up. Looks pretty level. I mean, let's see. Nice, that's pretty strong here. So here we got brown where it was getting hot here, so that's sort of, that there is sort of pointed to the board right there. So it was getting hot here on the board. So somehow there's something on this board that is shorted. Don't know yet. I gotta take the board off and see using the the multimeter, use the ohms to check every one of those connections underneath to find out what in the world on this thing is shorted. So there's something shorted, otherwise, you know, it wouldn't be doing that. So let's try this out and see if it does any good. Let's see. Now I gotta take the motor off. So let's plug it back in. Let's see if it fires up. Oh, here a nice sound. Looks like it's going right there. And see if it does any better. Check some temperature here, take the infrared thermometer, and that's room temperature, that's changing temperature, that's room temperature, the motor is really good, the wire to the motor is good, this guy is super good. That's room temperature. Yep. Room temperature. That's about 5 degrees above room temperature. Yeah, same thing. brushes need to be changed. Temperature's not going up. Change temperature. I don't know why they don't put fans on these things. Holding up pretty well. Yeah. That motor is really nice. Of course, the brushes I put another motor. I'm gonna put the other motor because I got two other ones. So I'm gonna put the newer motor on. That motor's doing really good. Wow, I really can't believe it. Yeah, it's holding up real good. I think we got it. Now what I do need to do though is I need to install. This thing doesn't have any fans in there. I'm gonna install. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna install a computer fan. Computer fans. I'm gonna install one right here. A computer fan. And I'm gonna blow air this way. And I'm gonna install two more over there, just to keep the brushes clean and all that dust from the brushes out of the motor. You know, might make a mess, a slow mess. I just have to clean it once in a while because all that dust is gonna come. It has to go somewhere. And normally, with a motor that does not have a fan, then it just stays in there, inside the motor. And of course, that's not going to do you any good in the long run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install some fans and clean it up once in a while. But I think we got her. Now what you got here is that treadmill that was getting too hot. The board was getting hot and the motor was getting hot, but mostly the board. So what I'm going to do is, even though you could probably put a fan right on top of the board, but there's really not very much space. But what I did here is install a fan. Now that fan is underneath here on that bottom piece, and it's not going to hit anything. But it's underneath, and it's going to be quieter if it's underneath. But that is a turbo fan. It's a computer fan, a turbo fan, and you'll hear it in a little bit. It's a powerful fan, and it really shoots some air in there. Of course, it's got these vents over here, but that's nothing. So what this one is going to do is this one is going to blow hard in, and this other one is over there. See, I made a hole there. Just to, well, you can make a hole with any sort of a wood, you know, chuck. But anyway, I made the hole. Now this fan, see, this one is blowing in hard. This one is blowing out, so it's going to keep that circulation, powerful circulation going in there. And it's also got some vents over here. Okay, so it's gonna, you know, you don't want to push too much air in there, because those vents are not enough to, you know, what it'll do is keep that hot air in there. So that's gonna blow hard in, and this one is the other way. It's gonna blow hard out. Now these are computer fans. See that? They're computer fans. But if you take those, they're all over the place, you know. All you have to do is you got to make sure that it has enough amperage output to power the fans. Now you could even put two, but they might run faster or slower, or they might one of them might not even start. So I got two of them. Now see what I did here is I took a plug. I'm not going to ruin that connector. I took a plug like that off of a damaged security camera that was no good anymore. So I just took that plug, and I took the red and the white, the red and the black, and the yellow. This particular fan here uses a yellow one also, actually to power it. So it must have the computer must send it probably sends it a signal, or even the power actually, because it's directly connected to the red. So it comes in, and I connected the yellow and the in this particular fan. Other fans maybe not, but in this particular fan I connected the two blacks together for ground, and the yellow and the red together to power this fan, because it wouldn't turn on otherwise. But anyway, you can sort of figure out what you need to do. This is nothing more, and it's going to plug in here, you know, like so. I got the camera in my hand, but anyway, you plug it in like so, and what you do, I'm going to go power it on. See that? That's a powerful fan, but it's also somewhat noisy. But that son of a gun, I mean, you can see how it's blowing hard, and that's not even covered yet. So when that cover gets on there, that son of a gun is really going to blow. You can see that it's moving already. So you can imagine how much air. I'll show you how powerful that is. Look at that fan over there. You know how much air that thing's blowing? That's amazing. And the cover isn't even on yet. So that son of a gun is you could almost make it just with that one. But when you put that cover, this one's going to blow hard in, and this one over here is going to pull hard out. So you have an even flow, okay, coming through there. And I'm going to put the other one over there, and it's going to keep it really, really cool. I mean, you could put a fan directly on the motor, but you want to keep that, you want to blow all that dust that comes from the brushes and stuff out of there. So, and this is going to do it. That might help somebody out there who's having some problems with overheating. And also, actually, if you do something like this, that treadmill is going to probably last forever, and that motor is going to last forever too. Yeah, there they are. See? Now this one sees them blow this way. That one's blowing, taking in. This one's coming this way. So that, I guess I can feel some over here too. You know? But that's really, I mean, it's really, of course it's cold here, but that it's going to have some super circulation inside, and it'll do a super job. So there it is. I put some new brushes in the motor, and now this thing when you used to put it on one, it used to bog down. See, so I put new brushes. I put that new board in. And there she goes. But this thing was smoking, you know. Now I replaced the board. I put those fans in there so it stays cool. See, but now it's covered, and that thing is. If you go underneath this now, I mean, I can stick my hand in there. I can feel it blowing this way. So it goes in there, and it circulates the air, fresh air in, and then it blows out the on the other side. The air coming out, but now it's going to run cool, you know, with that cover, and it's fully covered. I mean, it's got no place to go. You know, it's fully covered on this side. So now it's circulating the air. Now, one of the problems is, I mean, you know, geez, I mean, this is a this should be a vent, but it's not a vent. It just looks like a vent, which is ridiculous. I mean, all that hot air just stays in there. This is ridiculous. So, yeah, it's a good thing to put some fans in there. Keep it cool, and it'll run for a long time. Now, if we check the temperature now, look at this. It used to be 140, 150. Look at that. So that's doing great. It's unbelievable.